Welcome everyone. Today's show won't be like the rest. Today we have two very special guests.
I'm quite nervous. I've never been interviewed before.
Never?
I just found out what it meant.
You have much to learn, old sport.
And here they come. So Macbeth, you currently are the King of Scotland.
Yes, I am. I have the throne that once belonged to King Duncan.
You never told me you were king. If I knew, I would have...
What of what?
It's rude to interrupt. If I knew, I would have never called you old sport.
I didn't quite understand what you meant by that either.
So, Mr. Gatsby.
Please, call me Jay.
Okay, Jay, I feel confident to say that you were one of the most successful men in New York. What motivated you to get into this business?
Happiness. I had everything, yet happiness wasn't there for me. So I needed more money to find my happiness. Or so I thought.
And what was that?
Well, old sport, her name is Daisy.
What's she like? Did something happen?
Okay, very well then. I fell in love with her, Daisy, and I met her for the first time in Louisville, where I was stationed at Camp Taylor as a young officer before being shipped overseas during World War I. Daisy was very popular among the officers at Camp Taylor, and I went with some of them to visit Daisy. Meeting her for the first time, after a while, I went to Daisy's house without the others. Our love affair began and lasted for a month before I had to leave to go to the war. After a 5-year separation, we met again in West Egg, where I bought a nice mansion across from the bay from the Buchanan's estate. We met again, and Nick arranged it at my request, of course, inviting Daisy to tea at her cottage, where I waited for her. But as far as everything went, she was still married to another man.
How awfully sad, the one thing you want, you cannot have.
I'm working on old sport.
Macbeth, you've been awfully quiet.
I have not yet been addressed to.
Well, have you got yourself a lady?
Yes, I do. Lady Macbeth, fierce woman. She makes me look weak.
How so?
Well, the reason I am king is because I murdered the former king.
You killed the former king?
Yes, I did. Like I said earlier, my wife makes me look weak. After I had done the deed, I couldn't bear with myself, and I brought back the daggers, and she snatched them out of my hand. And I'll never forget how she looked when she came back with blood smeared all over her. It's like she didn't have to think twice about it.
What drove you to do this?
Ambition. I was told I was going to be king. I did what I did because I knew I would become king.
All right, we'll get back to this craziness after the break. Stay tuned.